uncut, unplugged, raw, whatever you want to call it. It's the last one of those videos. I kind of wanted to take some more time. I wanted to leave it off in the morning, but I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot of things to say right now, and I kind of want to end it off with this one. So, after talking to a few people, pondering a bit, having some discussion back and forth, big shout out to Kazune Fowler. I'll put a link in the description. Hopefully I won't forget, but me and those tendencies, I always seem to forget. I'll try my best, okay? But after just looking at the extreme left, the way it's currently acting, and then thinking about the extreme right we had to deal with, a couple of years past, because we seem to be in a generation that has dealt with both, one after another. Not saying that the extreme right was that extreme, but we can still consider it an extreme right, or just the way the right acts. And it's interesting to see correlation between the two methods of working. Back in the days, you're unpatriotic is today's you're racist, you're misogynist. Back then, we want to include everyone within our community unless you don't follow our church rules, unless you don't follow our God, unless you don't follow these exact rules. So if you're trans, if you're homosexual, then you're out, and who knows, if you have another religion, we might shove you out. We're all included, but, and I'm kind of seeing the same damn thing when it comes to the extreme left, social justice warrior, progressive, whatever you want to fucking call them. We're all inclusive, except if you're a white, cis, or male. We're inclusive, but, and then the backpedaling begins, where we're gonna, backpedal through our arguments and say, okay, well, maybe not in this case, maybe not in that case, and it's like, well, you said you're inclusive, but you brought up a but. And I keep hearing back this quote. I do not remember who exactly said it. I've heard it multiple times, but it's this quote where you can I don't even know the exact quote, but it's basically, the gist of it is, you see, you live long enough in a certain style to see yourself become the villain. You either die a hero, or you see yourself long enough to become a villain. And I don't know how that applies here. I mean, if I go back to my personal experience, I was always for inclusion, I was always for diversity, and I was never the type of person that pushes it back. After things got stable, I got stable. I didn't have that much to fight for. Maybe it was because of the time, maybe I wasn't that big into politics, but the fight seemed like it was won, especially when it comes to Quebec. Haitians, African Americans didn't have that much, or no longer had this much tension with Quebecers of souche, people that were from this land as well. So the tension dissipated, even with Lebanese, even with Italians. The tension just dissipated, and there was not that much of a fight for inclusivity. Even when it came to court, when it came to divorce, custody battles, both sides, and equality was a debate, but both sides seemed fair up to a certain degree. So at that point, to me internally, the fight was over. Things were stable. Yet the part where I see where I could have went to that villain route was to push it even further when it was done. to try and gather arguments to say it's not over until, and then the until has no roof. That's what we're seeing right now. There's a lot of people talking about fight for equality, yet they're not fighting for equality. They just want more advantages. There's a lot of people fighting for inclusivity, or they say they're fighting for inclusivity, but they want domination. They want to topple over the other side straight away. It's no longer inclusivity, it's domination at this point. I mean, up to going so far as to trigger warning areas, safe space, and then having a list of demands. Anybody in their right mind who studies both sides, or just reason, okay, just reason, would understand that there are things that are going way too far, and that you can obviously see the double standards. And you can also see the correlation between the both, the extreme right and the extreme left. So I know a lot of people just stopped at that point and are now looking back and going, okay, whoa, boy, whoa, you're bringing this shit a bit too far. I know a lot of people like that, and now they're stuck in the middle because you don't want to join into this hypersensitive, hyper-inclusive type of crowd, that social justice crowd that has no idea what real social justice is. You don't want to be part of this. But at the same time, you don't want to be part of that whole book bashing side, book burning type of side, you know? You're stuck in the middle. Sucks. Fucking does. But fuck it. Fuck this shit. Fuck the extreme left. Fuck the extreme right. Fuck both of you all. Nothing's getting solved. And I guess whoever's down in the middle needs to keep a foot in the middle and say, no, fuck you. You're not going to label me a racist because I don't approve with your fucking choices, and I don't approve with all your decisions, and I can bring facts against you. And you're not going to call me unpatriotic because I don't agree with everything your fucking little ancient book is telling you to do. Fuck both you all. Alright? Let's get some fucking reasoning back in there. Because that seems to be what's missing nowadays. Now this whole outrage culture is just whoop, 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 whoop. Doesn't even spend time asking for the facts. I mean, last time, what was it, 2 days ago, there was an article about a migrant in Italy who committed a great murder. A huge, disgusting piece of murder. I'm sorry to say it like that. It was really fucking disgusting. Yet, the only thing this article focused was, oh my god, he's a migrant, and the tensions are gonna rise. In my head, once I was reading this article, my first couple of questions is, 1, is this motherfucker part of a gang? 2, did this gang slip through the cracks, and can you find known associate? 3, is this man crazy? Facts that would get shit done. Because if this man was crazy, mental hospital, lock him up. If this man was part of a gang, get the information. Figure out how the gang got here. If this gang slipped through the crack, track these motherfuckers down. But no, we have to stay focused on race, right? We have to stay focused on the fact that he's a migrant and he committed a crime, and that this is going to bring tensions, right? We're not going to try to find out the bottom of the crime, right? You know, everyone in the comments like, fucking migrants, fucking this, and then you have the other side that's like, fucking anti-migrants, saying all this bullshit about sending people back to their country. On the bottom line, there's a fucking murder, and we need to find out how this happened. Same issue I have with other groups like Black Lives Matter. Black guy gets shot. All right, raise up in arms. Nobody wants to figure out what actually happened. Oh, the guy had a gun. Oh, he resisted arrest. Oh, we were going to ignore that. Give it a pass. Fuck. So, in the bottom line, right, left, extremes, they both use the same type of tactics. Very similar. Okay, not exactly the same, but very similar. Very fucking similar. And kind of sick and tired of having this ping pong between both and not being accepted by both. You know what? Fuck them. Fuck them. If you're in the middle, stand your motherfucking ground. Try to bring some facts and reasoning to it. Someone's gonna listen. A couple of people are gonna bend up and go like, okay, you guys are unreasonable. Send your motherfucking asses to space. Get your own planet of extremes. That'd be fucked up. Instead of Neo Tokyo, we would have Neo Progressives, Neo Republicans on another planet. Fucking have Planetary Wars. Fuck it, you know, that's a good parody right there. Good drawing. Someone pick it up. Have it like Zone of the Enders, which was a very good representation for that, you know. Ah, you fucking Mars people. Even though you came from Earth. Born in Mars. You're weak. And then the war begins. While everyone with sense and logic and can actually read true facts or would actually be open for debate, we're gonna stick to Earth and not fuck it up. If only, right? So that's it. Back to the fun time, back to the games, back to the drawings, and I'm gonna try to ignore this whole extreme right, extreme left, but if I do land on some of this shit, you can be sure to keep tuned to my Twitter. I'll be making fun of that shit. Best way I can, fastest way I can. And who knows? A picture's worth 1,000 words. I mean, we might have some Skype conversation and debates, but fuck this typing. Fuck all this typing. Both extremes are pissing me off right now. So, hey, back to fun time, back to priorities. Let's hope the world changes to a certain degree. If not, let's put some message out there, alright? I'm inviting all creators to do the same. Speak out. Fuck this bullshit. You shouldn't have any of these fucking sites telling you what you should and should not do. Because they're fucking generalizing and they only want what they want. You as a creator, you have the right to speak out, and they can go fuck themselves if they don't like it. They had the choice to look the other way, but if they're gonna get offended at your speech or your drawing or your artwork, calling them out on their bullshit, maybe it's about time they start reflecting upon themselves. That's the thing that a lot of people on both extremes or any extreme ideology doesn't perform too often. And I admit, it's hard. Just taking a break and just reflecting upon yourself and how you're acting towards others. I'll say that to the extreme left. You say all this good shit about empathy, but you have shown such a lack of it in the last few years that you're full of shit. And you only want to push the narrative. Just like the extreme right. Later, people.